Hi, I'm Kristina from Proven Winners ColorChoice Shrubs, and today we have a tool expert here to talk to us about loppers. So Chris?
I'm so glad to be here to talk about this because people are very confused about loppers. We have several different types of loppers here to show you, and one thing that I find so often is that people will go to the garden center, they'll buy a pair of loppers and think, this is the only pair that I need and that's what I'm going to use. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Using the right tool for the job is going to make every bit of difference. So I brought 3 different types here. Great. And I'm going to show you that this particular tool, this is a bypass lopper. And what that means is that it's got a cutting blade and it's got a non-cutting blade. And this slides right past this hook. And that is, it's like scissor action. So it's gonna give you the cleanest cut. The tree's gonna be able to heal, or the shrub, and that is what you want. You wanna be able to make the cleanest cut.
Okay.
Now, you've got another type here. This is same type. It is a bypass lopper, but there's other features like it's got this coating on it, which makes it easier to clean. This is solid steel, forged metal, and it's gonna last you a long time. This one is designed for comfort and ease of cut, and so that you won't feel it in your arms and everything afterwards. It's got the nice comfort handles on it. And the other nice thing about it is that it's got extendable handles. There you go.
Oh, that's so nice.
So especially when you're pruning shrubs.
Yeah.
And
if you've got a very large shrub, you can get in there.
If it happens to be up high, now you don't have to run back to the garage. Yeah. And you can do it safely with your feet on the ground. Now, this
really
lopper,
convenient.
This is an Anvil lopper. And you can see that what it is, it's a blade. There's an anvil here and a blade, and it comes right down on top of it. So use it only on hard deadwood or woody stems. You don't want to use this on fresh green stems. What that means, it's going to crush the stems. Roses, they are very notorious, at least in my area. Like the old hybrid roses. We'll get these really thick canes. Do not try to use regular bypass loppers. I've done it, I've ruined them. Use a pair of Anvil. It'll save your tools. They are an investment, so don't ruin them. Make sure that you're using the right one. But you cannot use one lopper for all of your gardening tasks. So make sure that you're using the right lopper for the right task.
So why is it easier to use this pair of loppers for deadwood as opposed to just these other 2? Why would you pick one of those to prune deadwood?
Yeah, that's a great question. So this blade is actually sharpened on both sides. So you've got it's almost like a V shape, you know, it comes to a straight point, whereas this one, you've got a bevel on one side, straight on the other, and it can't really dig in and bite that wood.
Okay.
So what's gonna happen is your blade is actually gonna bend around the wood because it's so hard, so dense, you need something that's gonna pierce that. And that action will be able to, you'll just be able to make that cut very easily. Whereas this, you might actually bend, break the blade, or even, you know, if it snaps off, you don't want that. So use the right lopper for pruning out deadwood.
Great. And we definitely have examples of how you would use each of these loppers on a shrub in your own garden. Health prunes are great. A lot of shrubs love a revitalization prune. There are some dogwoods that really benefit from being able to get some of that old wood out of the plant so that it can produce new juvenile growth, which is the brightest. Their oldest wood isn't going to be as bright. So we'll definitely show you an example of pruning out some of those older branches to get that new juvenile growth going on. I'm just so glad to know that we're going to be using the right ones. All right, so here we are with a red-twig dogwood. Now this isn't a Proven Winners variety. Ours are much smaller. The native variety can obviously get pretty big, but Arctic Fire Red is one that gives you just the same amount of color, but in a much smaller package. So what we're going to do today, you can also do on that because it will benefit from rejuvenation prunes as well. And essentially what we're doing here today is we're looking at the stems that can be taken out. The stems that are big, thick, and woody, like this, that are kind of a dusty brown color, those are going to want to come out. You're only going to ever take about 1/3 of the plant out at a time. This is just so that the plant can remain healthy.
And when do you do this?
So you would prune these in the early spring, late winter. But deadwood can be pruned out anytime, and I am seeing a couple of those here. So when it comes to using loppers for this job, you can use these beauties, the bypass loppers, and they are great if you get your big branch all the way down here, which is the place that Chris just told me is called the pivot bolt. If you get your branch all the way back there, you're going to get the most effective cut. And you can use this on green wood. But Chris is going to tell you why you can use the Anvil pruners in this situation as well.
Yeah, so the Anvil blade is sharpened on both ends, and that will just bite right into the deadwood and give you much more leverage to make that cut.
Great. And you were also mentioning while we were walking over to this plant that you can use Anvil pruners on woody shrubs as well.
Sure. Yeah, so anything that's like this that you see that's got a bark on it and it's going to be difficult to cut, it might even be difficult for that to really power through it. An Anvil lopper can also be used for that.
Great. So essentially we just don't want to use Anvil loppers on wood that is very new because that will do the crushing.
Is what we usually say. If it's green, fleshy, that's when you don't want to use it.
So to get this shrub nice and healthy, we're going to use the right loppers for the job. And if you want to learn any more about our shrubs, you can go to provenwinnerscolorchoice.com. And if you want to learn about these amazing tools, visit
coronatoolsusa.com.
And if you have any questions about anything we saw today, please leave a comment below this video and we're happy to talk with you.